Hi Juliette, bonjour amateur de piment fort, ici Claude Dubé. I'm Claude Dubé. Well, don't trust the intro. Yes, I did my usual intro in both French and English, but today this video will be in English only. The fact is that, what I'm going to be discussing takes a little while, so if I would have done it in both languages, the video would have ended, being way too long. So I already done this in French. Now I'm doing it over in English for English speaking people. So I get questions from people, from new contacts on Facebook, from new viewers on YouTube, and the same questions come over and over and over. I mean, these guys are new; they don't know nothing about hot peppers and hot sauces, and they want advice. So I figured I'd do a video giving a few advices ahead. So this way, they will possibly know a little better how to go about it when they start trying to eat hot peppers and sauces. So, advice number one: never on an empty stomach. Now, uh, the thing is, having hot peppers or hot sauce on an empty stomach is a winning recipe to capsaicin cramps. Let me tell you, you don't want to go through that. Okay, I remember listening to a podcast with the Chili Queen. At which point she said, the first time she had cramps, she didn't know what was going on, and she kind of compared the pain to being, more painful than having your kids. So, that's how painful this could be. So don't you go and do it over an empty stomach. To illustrate this, I'm going to talk to you about my friend Sebastien Filiatro. He's part of a duo called the Spice Boys. I mean, these guys started making videos. They are funny videos, they just go and eat sauces and peppers, and they know that it's way out of their league, but they still do it anyway, and they go sick over it, and it's totally crazy what they're doing anyway. So it's almost been 8 years now that me and my brother Michel, we've been having what we call our hot sauce brunch. I mean, I work a weekend out of two. So the weekend that I'm off, a weekend out of two, uh, we get together and we go to a restaurant and we have a lunch together and we try hot sauces and, we tried extracts, we tried all kinds of spicy products over the last, as I said, almost 8 years now. And Sebastian joined us almost a couple of years ago now. And at one point, see, the restaurant we go to is right across the street from my brother's place. And we were at my brother's place, me, Sebastian, and my brother. And we were discussing the fact that, just a few years ago, the only way to have a super hot sauce was to have a sauce with extract in it. Uh, there were no super hot peppers 10 years ago. The only peppers you could find were ghost peppers. And remember this, back in 2007, the ghost pepper was the first pepper reaching above 1 million SHU on the East Coast scale. But that was the hottest specimen ever found, because the average of the ghost pepper is around 650,000 on a Scoville scale. So it's only in 2011, that's only 9 years ago, that finally another pepper reached over 1 million on a Scoville scale. The marugas, the scorpions, the seven pods, they've been around now for 7, 8 years, and that's it. So prior to that, the only way to get a super hot sauce was to have a sauce with extract. Now, the sauce we preferred was the Blair Ultra Depth. Fact is, we have tried many different extract sauces. I mean, from Dave's Gourmet, from Mad Dog, and Blair, of course. And the Ultra Depth was the one where the nasty extract flavor, because it's nasty, it doesn't taste good, okay? The nasty extract flavor was best covered by the rest of the ingredients, the blend of peppers he's using in the Ultra Depth. So that was our favorite at the time. So As we were discussing, before the others came in for the brunch, my brother asked Sebastian, "Well, did you ever try that Ultra that?" I said, "No, no, no. I think I still have some in the fridge because we don't use it anymore. Now that we can get 100% natural sauces at a reach, close to 1 million, forget the sauces with that extract because they taste bad." Anyway, he pulls the bottle out, so Sebastian pours a little bit here on the side of his fist and tries it. Within 5 minutes, he was on the floor, his t-shirt off, and suffering from cramps, running to the bathroom, to the toilet. Uh, Never could throw up, of course. He was on an empty stomach. So that's when I asked him, "Hey, did you have something to eat this morning?" And he goes, "No." I said, "You took that over an empty stomach?" I said, "Yeah." "Didn't you know?" So let me tell you, from now on, Sebastian always eats something before he does his videos or he tries something. And you should make sure that you always have something down your stomach before you eat a hot pepper or a hot sauce. Now, advice number 2, take your time. Don't rush it, okay? The example I decided to take here is that back in 2017, I participated in a hot meatball eating contest at the NYC Hot Sauce Expo. We were supposed to be 10 contestants. We ended up being 9. Okay? Now, uh, the trick was to eat your meatballs as fast as possible, and then we had a 2-minute afterburn to wait before we could have either something to drink or eat to try to take the burn away. That's something I don't do because I love the burn, so I'm not gonna try to take it away. Anyway, so we did the contest, and what happened was, out of the 9 contestants, 4 of them were taken out in an ambulance. What happened there? What happened? Okay, well, very easy. They went too fast. It was a contest based on speed. Now, after the contest, Austin contacted me the next day and said, "Hey, they're trying to make a collective claim, saying that my balls were no good." And I said, "No, no, the balls were perfect. The meat was good, the flavor was good, everything was good about those balls. The problem was there was a lot of pepper in there. Okay, that was the problem. And the pepper used was the big black mama. Now, I do reviews of peppers. And let me tell you, some peppers are creepers, like the ghost pepper, for instance. You eat a ghost pepper, okay, you got to burn right out of the bat. And then a minute and a half later, that burn starts growing and growing and growing on you and reaches a way, way, way higher level. That's a creeper. So a lot of super hot peppers are like that. And I can tell you, some peppers, it can take up to 5 minutes before you reach the peak of the burn. 5 minutes. Now, I did go and watch the video. The video is available on YouTube of that contest. It took me a minute 58 to eat those 10 meatballs. And then you have a 2-minute afterburn for a total of 3 minutes and 58 seconds. With the big black mama that was used in those balls, it's almost 5 minutes before you reach the peak. So that means that by the time the contest is over, you still haven't reached the peak burn of that pepper. So people don't realize that, hey, I just had, a bunch of meatballs, and by the time the contest will be over, I'm still not gonna be experiencing the full heat of the pepper. Secondly, don't forget, you're not eating meatballs, you're eating peppers. And from the recipe that Austin shared with me, I can tell there was about 120 grams of pepper per person. Uh, that's about a dozen peppers each. If you're used to eat a pepper and say, "Oh man, I'm good," you just ate 12 within 2 minutes. I mean, sorry, but that's way too much. So the second, of course, advice I can give you is take your time. Make sure that you try it a bit, wait for the burn to really install itself before you go on and have some more. Because if you rush it, like in a contest, okay, you go ahead and eat and eat and eat and eat. By the time you realize how hot it really is, you might have eaten already too much for your system to handle, and you're going to end up throwing up or getting cramps. And let me tell you, it's not fun at all. When you think you're going to die, you're not going to die, okay? But the pain is so excruciating in your guts that you really believe you will be dying. I say that I confess all my sins, when I do get those cramps, because it's really, really overwhelming. You can't think of anything else but what's happening in that stomach. So uh, again, take your time. Advice number 3: try to avoid extracts. When you see on the bottle of a sauce, pepper extract, uh, capsicum oleo resin, capsicum extracts, stay away from that. The thing is that those extracts, okay, it's a concentrated product. Now, in order to keep it soluble, they put it in oil. Okay, oil, when you ingest that, it covers the entire mouth, covers your throat, covers your esophagus and your stomach. And of course, the capsaicin is in that oil. So it burns everywhere, 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 everywhere. And not a single pepper will ever do that to you. Not one. It's an unnatural burn. Now, because it's oil, of course, it's hard to get rid of. It's sticking there. Okay, it won't go loose. And that's why when you drink water, nothing happens. And don't forget, water and oil don't mix together. So forget sauces that contain extracts, because it's just, painful, and it's an unnatural burn. Now, if you do have it, if you do exceed the amount you should have had, uh, people often ask, how can I get rid of some of the burn? Don't drink water, it's useless. Again, it doesn't mix with oil, and the capsaicin is within the oil. When you cut open a fresh pepper, you'll see oil in there, and that's where the capsaicin is, in that oil. So that oil is sticking inside your mouth all over the place. Now, the capsaicin is liposoluble, okay? It dissolves in oils and greases, also dissolves in alcohols, because the alcohol molecules and grease molecules are very similar. So capsaicin will dissolve also in alcohols as well as in oils and greases. So in order to get that capsaicin out, you can have some milk. Milk does contain some fat. So those fat cells will catch some of the capsaicin inside your mouth. And of course, as you swallow, it's going to take it down towards your digestive system, taking it out of the mouth and reducing a bit of the burn. Now, the milk also contains a molecule called casein, okay? And this one likes to stick to the captor that is stimulated by the capsaicin. So what it does is, when it gets to that captor, okay, it pushes aside the capsaicin to take its place. So it does, at some point, help reducing a part of the burn, okay? Now, more effective than that is citrus, whether it's lime, lemon, oranges, grapefruit. Uh, just think of it. A mechanic in a garage, when his hands are oily and greasy, what does he use to clean them? He uses a gel with orange oil, okay, because it helps getting the grease away. So if you drink some orange juice or lemonade or grape juice. Not grape juice, grapefruit juice. It's going to help rinse out the oil that's in your mouth. And the capsaicin is in that oil. So it's going to take it away and send it down towards, of course, again, your digestive system. Now, one more thing that those citrus products do. They contain citric acid, okay? Citric, so lemons, oranges, and grapefruits do have that acid in their composition, and that reacts with capsaicin, turning it into some sub products which are not causing any burn anymore. So by eating, those products or drinking those juices, you actually induce a reaction between the capsaicin and the citric acid that reduces the total amount of capsaicin that you have in your body. Now, when we get to cramps, what can you do about cramps? Oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing to do, or hardly anything, okay? Even if you go to the hospital, there's nothing they can do. For as long as it's in your stomach, okay, your stomach can fix the problem easily. Blah. It just empties itself, and once it's empty, it's happy, okay? But once it reaches your gut, the small intestine, that's a one way. There's no way out but the exit, okay? It cannot come back into the stomach to be thrown up. No, it has to go down towards the, the exit. And that's what's causing your cramps. See, your intestine usually works really slowly because it has to allow all the nutrients through its skin into the bloodstream so you can pick up, the nutrients from the food. But now it's trying to hurry that process and it's working real fast, and that's what's causing the cramps. That's where those cramps come from. So in my case, when I do get cramps, one thing I normally do is get a ramp, I put my guts to it and I compress my guts onto the ramp. So because it doesn't have, if it has a lot of room to work, your intestine will work a lot. But when I compress it, it doesn't have, it cannot move freely as much anymore. So it kind of reduces the movement of your intestine, reducing at the same time a bit of the pain. But yeah, you still have to suffer through the time it takes for it to take that food away. And one thing you can do again is have a lot of those citrus juices because they go through the stomach real fast and into the intestine to be digested as fast as possible because they're liquids, okay? So if they reach what's causing your cramps, they will help reducing the amount of capsaicin by reacting with the capsaicin. And as long as that amount is reduced, the intestine will stop being irritated and will stop pushing that hard, towards the exit. Uh, Eat some oranges, eat some grapefruit to try to help, as it's going to go through your intestine, pushing, of course, the rest in front of it. It will help soothe the irritation caused by the capsaicin. So, of course, the best advice is always to be careful, not to have to, get to use those advices, because once it starts burning too much, once it starts, causing cramps, it's now too late. So make sure you don't do it on an empty stomach. Take your time when you're trying stuff. Don't hurry things, okay? It's the worst you can do. So I hope these advices will help you in the future. And, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you in another video. And until then, well, you guys take care and bye-bye.